Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. My name is Gordy, and because it's the first day of Mystery Week, I was just wondering, what do you do when you find a seaworthy ship intact, adrift, and completely deserted? No distress signal, no wreckage, just lunch on the table and a missing lifeboat. Give me 5 minutes. I bet you can work this into a conversation today, and like and subscribe if you haven't so you can keep up. I do this every single day. In December 1872, the brig Mary Celeste was found drifting off the Azores, sails partially set, cargo mostly intact, lifeboat missing, and not a single soul on board. A brig, by the way, is a two-masted sailing ship where both masts are square-rigged, meaning they primarily carry large rectangular sails across the ship. Mary Celeste, she launched in Nova Scotia as Amazon, but after multiple misfortunes and a change of ownership, she was renamed Mary Celeste in 1869 for reasons that remain unclear. I couldn't figure that one out. And no one knows who, if anyone, the name refers to either. I was trying to figure that. I couldn't find that, so let me know if you know the answer to that. The ship had left New York on November 7th, 1872, bound for Genoa, with Captain Benjamin Briggs and his wife Sarah, their 2-year-old daughter Sophia, and a crew of 7. All were experienced sailors, except probably the baby Sophia. The weather had been mild, and the last logbook entry, dated November 25th, gave no indication of trouble. And the ship was discovered adrift 10 days later on December 4th. When the Canadian ship Gibraltar spotted the Mary Celeste adrift, they boarded her to investigate. And what they found was eerie in its incompleteness. There were no signs of struggling, no blood, no fire, no flooding. Most of the cargo, that's over 1,700 barrels of industrial alcohol, remained untouched. The crew's belongings were still in their quarters, and there's also plenty of food and fresh water on board. Yet the lifeboat was gone. The ship's chronometer and sextant were also missing, as were the ship's navigational papers. One of the pumps had been disassembled, the clock had stopped, and the sails were in poor condition with some damage, but the ship itself was entirely seaworthy still. With no crew on board and no clear explanation, de Gratia's captain decided to sail the derelict vessel to Gibraltar, a nearly 1,000-mile journey for salvage proceedings under maritime law. But the salvage hearing in Gibraltar raised more questions than it answered. The de Gratia crew, initially suspected of foul play, were eventually cleared, and the Mary Celeste was returned to service, but her troubles weren't over yet. In 1885, after years of unlucky voyages and changing owners, she was intentionally wrecked off the coast of Haiti in an insurance fraud scheme. The captain tried to overinsure a worthless cargo, and he sunk the ship for profit, but then he got caught. And the crew testified, the scam collapsed, and Mary Celeste met her end stranded on a reef. And they actually found the wreck in the early 2000s. That's the picture I found of it. It's kind of cool how recently they found it. Over the years, speculation spiraled: sea monsters, pirates, mutiny, even some people were saying alien abduction. And the legend only grew after 1884 when a young Arthur Conan Doyle, the guy who wrote Sherlock Holmes, he published a wildly embellished short story loosely based on the case. He changed the ship's name to Mary Celeste. He invented a murderous mutiny, and he helped launch the ship into nautical myth, confusing fact and fiction for generations. But there are more grounded theories. One theory suggests the alcohol cargo, 9 barrels of which were found empty, may have leaked vapors, and fearing an explosion, the crew could have evacuated to the lifeboat temporarily, only for the rope that tied them to the ship to come loose, and a rogue wave, a water spout, or a sudden squall or something might have made returning to the ship impossible. Another theory points to the disassembled pump. If it had malfunctioned, Briggs may have thought the ship was taking on water and made the call to abandon ship, in an abundance of caution, while in calm weather with a plan to return, but then something went wrong while they're on the lifeboats or something like that. And these all sound plausible to me, especially when you consider that Captain Briggs had his wife and his baby daughter on board. I could see him being extra cautious, super ready to evacuate the boat quickly if anything even seemed amiss. I honestly wonder if that had something to do with it. He was a little high strung. And we'll probably never know though. you know? It would be cool if there was like some message in a bottle that we found. But no survivors were ever found. Just an empty ship floating on the Atlantic. I don't know, kind of eerie, you know? It's like an abandoned building with its lights on or something like that. So there you have it, a ghost ship with no real ghost, just an unnerving void where a crew should be. One of history's great maritime mysteries, unresolved, unexplained, and unsettlingly real. I got more mysteries coming all week, so make sure you stay tuned. Also, go check out my sources, which can be found in the YouTube description. Go check out my 1-minute version that I do at Smartest Year Ever across all social media platforms. Find me there for that little short version. Share, rate, like, subscribe, send this to someone, all that. Leave a comment. That's really appreciated. I really appreciate that engagement as a small creator. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. I'll see you tomorrow in the Smartest Year Ever.